So I guess when we first started in the 90s, we are Jains. So our philosophy, our religious background is we are both Jains. So a very strong sense of non-violence and ahimsa. And when we start approaching and saying, okay, so what does that mean in your day-to-day living? I mean, you may be a vegetarian and not, killing to eat, so to speak. But what more beyond that? How can you change anything from that perspective? And we realized that the one big thing we could do was not use chemicals in our home, because basically chemical causes violence, and because it kills. Your household cleaners, your laundry detergent, what else? And I guess the other way is, if water is life, if one looks closely in water, every water has life, and the less water you can consume, the better off you would be in terms of from a perspective of ahimsa. So we started with that, and we looked at our lives through that lens and said, okay, what can we do differently? And so we experimented with just with laundry detergent soaps, and we found a baking soda and a vinegar combination that could work very effectively. For cleaning your homes, even you could use baking soda in your water and not use anything. But there are even cow ganga, which is cow urine products available, which acts as a disinfectant and is biodegradable. So you don't have to harm any. You could throw that water after mopping the floor into your gardens or water the plants. So we started experimenting with those things, and they work extremely effectively. It helps mosquitoes controlled. You don't have flies, so you have other things even that start working better. So what else? So that, I guess that was our basic philosophy. And then along our journey, so with that in mind, we would just look at everything that we were doing and say, how could we change that? If we realized there was more violence, then could we reduce that violence? So we have a front-loading washing machine. People may not know it, but a top-loading and a front-loading uses 50% less water. So a top-loading will use 100 to 120 liters per wash. A front-loading will use 40 liters to 45 liters per wash. And so that's the amount of water that's used in a day for a wash. If somebody's washing with buckets, it's about 120 to 140 liters of water that is used for 2 buckets of clothes. So that 45 liters that we use every day, that goes into our flushing our toilets, the output of the washing machine. So we save our water. Your biggest use of water actually in your house is your flushing. So flush, if you have the old types of flush, it takes 50 liters of water for a flush. If you have the newer types, then it is 15 liters, which is still a fair amount. And then you get the dual flushes, then they will use 5 liters and 15 liters. So obviously, ideally, you should get to the 5 and 15 at least, even if you can't do what we have done. Place your commodes and tanks and get spend that money because we're going out of water. That's going to become your most precious resource very, very, very soon, if it is not already.
Hello, I'm Chakalingam. What about me? We are a family of 5, including my mother. We live in this house for the last 8 years. This is built on the basic thing like low impact living, especially when you're building. It's supposed to be ecologically impactful. So we wanted to keep that impact as low as possible. It also helps us in living a low impact life, like power consumption or water consumption, growing our own vegetables and fruits. And if you have to live within the power that you generate with the solar PV, then that's a big task by itself, because we are actually used to switching on and getting everything, whatever we like, air conditioner or refrigerator. But in our case, we chose to restrict ourselves to solar power. We have not got a grid connection at all. So what we generate, we have to use, and we have to limit it. So if you would see, we use appliances in a very downsized manner. We have a refrigerator, but it's small. We have a television, it's small. We use laptops for our living, mail or whatever. We have all the conveniences, but on a smaller scale. And immediately the question in Bangalore would be that on cloudy days, what do you do? Winter is not a problem because sun would still shine. It's only in the monsoon time, 2-3 days in a year, we may have to put off the refrigerator at night and switch it on in the morning, especially when it's raining continuously. If it's cloudy, we still generate power. But then if it's cloudy, the weather is good. Then you don't have to switch on the fan. So it kind of compensates, and you can still work with it. And we've lived like this for 8 years. It's not exactly that we live off rainwater, but considerably less water is drawn from the supplies. Yeah, the moment you decide to restrict yourself to low impact design methods and materials, then comes all the challenges. Every day is a challenge. These bricks are made on site. They are called compressed earth blocks, mostly containing mud excavated from the site, from the well, and some mud was bought. Then there's a mix of quarry dust into it, a small percentage of cement also is put into it. The main advantage here is the embodied energy into material which has gone in, including the bricks of building this house, is very, very low. There are 2 types of energy in building a house, one in a house building. One is the material itself, which consumes energy. A normal brick, you would know, is fired Yeah. And it requires tremendous amount of firewood or any other material to fire it, fossil fuel to fire it. So we kind of cut that out, and these bricks are not fired; they're cured on site for 20 days. They have say 5% or 6% cement. You would see ventilations on top at every ceiling level. The ventilation, vents open to ventilate hot air. There is also a chimney in the tallest part of the house to ventilate hot air during summer. The hot air collects at the topmost point, so we ventilate that in summer. And we have a trap door there. I'll show you that. It can be closed in winter, so we trap the heat and keep the house warm. And the bedrooms are built generally in southwest, so you could take the winter sun in the afternoons, and that keeps us a little more warm. And, it goes on like that. You would see in every room, every roof, there will be different things to take care of these things. And the courtyard by itself also does its bit. And so the challenges have been that at everything we had to think through, and also we didn't want paint and plastics as much as possible. So we brewed our own paint. There's something called linseed oil, which is an edible oil, and we mixed colors to it. For instance, the aluminium paint on the grill you see is aluminium powder mixed in linseed oil. And the only challenge there is it's going to take time to dry, 4 or 5 days to dry. Then you have to apply the second coat. That's the only difficulty. You know, you can't rush to office every morning, without taking care of other things, like the water. You can't lose even a small bit. After charging the mobile, you just can't pull it off and go. You'll have to switch it off. Otherwise, you'll be losing power. Those are phantom loads which will keep on going. And our television time is limited, our computer time is limited. So we have to plan and manage with that. So it's a continuous challenge. I mean, it's not done. It's an ongoing thing. Every day is a challenge.